Yollinko Park. Imagine a peaceful place on the banks of the Barwon River, sheltered from winter's cold westerly winds. For the Wadawurrung people, this is a place where shelter, food and community thrived. But when Europeans came, they were forced off this living station, never to return. This is the place we have called Yollinko today. It's a Wadawurrung word, appropriately meaning yesterday. Yollinko was a living station that was occupied for more than 5,000 years, according to archaeological evidence found in the 3 mounds at this site. Only one mound remains today. It was in 1982 that the mounds and the living station were discovered, and a park was established. But only Mound 3 was saved. Mound 1 was demolished, and Mound 2 built on as part of a housing estate. Yollinko's small triangular area is now confined and restricted by a modern bridge that spans the Barwon River. A major arterial road that links suburbs and modern housing that replaces the mounds and middens. Members of the Barrable clan were still living there when the first European settlers arrived. Yollinko was situated on the banks of the Barwon River and Cardinia Creek. The Barwon was salty, but Cardinia Creek had plentiful fresh water when clan members camped there in the winter months. Din Iu is the Wadawurrung name meaning hissing snake. The confluence of Cardinia Creek and the Barwon River occurred at the bend of the river which we now call Sawpit Bend. The name Cardinia remains, but the creek is now buried and hidden. It flows through pipes beneath asphalt roads. A faded wooden sign on the Barwon bank is the only reminder of the point where a village water pump was installed in 1842 by John Hyatt, one of the first European settlers in the area. In the early 1840s, Hyatt established orchards and vineyards were planted. Later, the mounds were ploughed and introduced seed crops were grown. The hand pump was used to water crops and for drinking purposes. A village common was established next to the mounds so that the horses and carts could access the hand pump. Yollinko's living station offered natural protection from cold winter winds. It had a welcoming northerly aspect in winter, and it acted as a base for foraging and hunting. This living station was one of many commencing in late autumn and ending when the migratory bird, the snipe, arrived from its annual migration from the northern hemisphere. Remains discovered in the middens show the Wadawurrung had a rich diet. Women crossed the Barwon River in canoes to forage in the wetlands and the floodplain, which we now call Ballyang Sanctuary. The types of food gathered were diverse and numerous. Wood grubs were caught under the bark of the river redgums, and possums were captured living in their tree hollows. Women gathered frogs, bulrush corns, mushrooms, yams, lilies, brackenfern, orchids, and waterfowls and birds' eggs. Men hunted kangaroos, wallabies, emu and bustard birds on fertile swamps and plains that extended to the Warn Ponds Creek. Canoes provided the men with access for fishing and catching water rats, eel and aquatic birds. The canoe also allowed the Wadawurrung to use the Barwon River as an aquatic highway. Archaeologists excavating the mounds have found napping stones, scrapers, a pickaxe, axe heads, spearheads, bone-piercing tools, as well as ochre for ceremonies. Some tools were not manufactured at Yollinko, but obtained by trade or exchange with other clans at corroborees. Corroborees were ceremonies and social gatherings performed close to Yollinko on flat land approximately 500 metres away. That place is now a children's adventure playground. Social gatherings were important for sharing and trading tools and foods from different places, and for arranging marriages according to a very strict system of blood relationships. Corroborees, which lasted for a few days, were occasions for dancing, singing, and traditional dramas. Directly across the river, the remnants of Yollinko wetlands can be seen. Frequently waterlogged, the wetlands helped to control floods and were important breeding grounds and habitats for plants and animals, where the Wadawurrung sourced their food. Today the wetland is protected and accessed by elevated walking platforms. These platforms give safe access to landing areas on the riverbank, and they give pedestrians a safe journey across the boggy ground. They also avoid the dangers of snakes, which are commonly found there. Just above the wetland is a recreation pathway, and constructed above that are sports fields. 5,000 years of continuous occupation at Yollinko were almost erased with European occupation, commencing with Mr. John Hyatt. His plough has changed the dominant plants Yollinko once grew. Introduced farm animals competed with indigenous animals for food. Residential suburbs have eradicated the course of ancient natural waterways, which are now confined to subterranean pipes. The natural landscape has been recreated and shaped by the town planner's pen. Indigenous people, animals, insects, and plants that once used the wetlands and the Yollinko area for food and shelter had to adjust to the new landscape, or move to other places, or die. Sadly, in most cases, it was the last option that eventually occurred. Information for this program is sourced from the work of archaeologist and historian Lou Lane. The Lou Lane collection is in the Geelong Heritage Centre. The file number is 1104/1, file number 52, Yollinko Park.